All right. I think I'm ready to start. Got some exciting stuff we're going to dive into. You guys ready?
Let's fucking go.
All right. Welcome back to New Cammack. In the last session, Excavo received an oracular vision that led the gang to the home of the Medic brothers, the pair of mortals who have repeatedly followed them in an ambulance and who are suspected to have entered Camp Moonlight to abduct the bodies of its gangrel founder Jeremiah Cotton, as well as Mama, the locally beloved bear.
What happened to her?
That Darby senselessly cut down in the prime of her life, orphaning her cub.
That guy sounds terrible. Not me.
Yeah. Thurgood would absolutely take issue with Darby's approach to just seeing a bear and punch murdering it. Perhaps
I'm surprised he hasn't asked, like, why do we have a bear? Where's this bear's mom?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
At this point, he's just afraid to ask about it.
I feel like he did talk about the bear.
I'm pretty sure that came up.
Like, almost guarantee it.
Thanks to Excavo's disabling of the home's security system, the home of the Medic brothers, and Augustine's magical manipulation of a bush, the group successfully stealthed into the house, where they found a mysterious jar with a human hand in it, as well as the two brothers fast asleep in bunk beds. Archibald quickly murdered Perry Medic, bludgeoning and then decapitating him with his trademark hammer and sickle. I like that is the first time that you use both of them in an attack. And it was the last thing one dude saw before he died. Leaving Perry's bizarrely even-tempered brother Terry Medic to interrogate. Terry willingly explained that they worked for the horseman Death, who was helping find and collect torpid vampires as part of Famine's apocalyptic mission. Despite being fairly forthcoming with information, Augustine still forced seeds into his nose and made them grow in Terry's sinuses in what is now his trademark brand of torture. Terry,
so fucked.
I did not expect to see any combat applications of the green path, but Augustine is finding all of them. Terry, Medic, explained that the Sanctum of the horseman Death was directly below the haunted house where Onion Jack died, in a chamber accessible through a storm drain, and despite requesting to be killed so that he may continue to serve his master as a ghost, the gang instead tied him up, gagged him, and stashed him in a body bag, which is currently in the possession of the Tremere, who have been tipped off to all of the plot points that our heroes are now aware of concerning the Four Horsemen and their plan. Archibald, harrowed by the stresses of being prince, losing your friend Onion Jack, and committing an especially brutal murder, which resulted in your humanity level dropping, you find your emotional resolve weakening. You fear succumbing to the predatory urges imparted by the curse of Cain, and you're afraid of ever being alone to face those challenges. Consequently, you have developed dependent personality disorder, and you now find yourself indecisive and preferring that others make decisions for you, out of fear that they might not approve of the choices that you make and will consequently abandon you. I'm afraid that while you are still under the effects of dependent personality disorder, intimidation and leadership roles will be at a +2 difficulty, and making decisions on behalf of others or in the face of dissent will cost willpower.
Oh, man. Is this like on my flaws now?
Yeah, well, it'd be under derangement.
It's a derangement, yeah.
This is the result of botching your degeneration roll when you were losing humanity. You're supposed to gain a derangement, and I put a lot of thought into it, and that's what I think would make the most sense for Archibald.
Yes.
I 100% think so.
Oh,
it totally fits with
yeah.
like all of the kinds of, we'll say like character development / regression that he's experienced.
And you're welcome to check out like the Wikipedia article for dependent personality disorder. There's a lot more to it that can go into your role playing, but the gist of it is you want to depend on others and have other people taking care of you, or at least being in charge of some things, because the root of it is you're afraid of abandonment and being alone. And if you are depending on other people to make decisions for you, that creates a relationship that you feel more secure about than like you being in charge and maybe people not liking that and running off.
I like it.
What just happened was all four of you, including the bear cub on Augustine's head and the squirrel, which we've established now lives in Darby/Thurgood's chakram hat. You all dropped into a storm drain, and as you did that, you discovered that there was just a dude right there, right in front of you in the storm drain, dressed in like a security guard outfit with a rifle with a flashlight on it. And he immediately confronts you and says, "Who are you? What are you doing in here?" And immediately Thurgood shoots him with his semi-automatic shotgun. So let's begin this by rolling for damage. That's going to be dexterity plus firearms.
That is going to be 8 dice for your boy Darby / Thurgood.
Is that no successes?
I think that's none.
Yeah, I think I failed.
You got the 9 and then the 1.
Just failed the roll.
That's implausible.
You shot a shotgun at point blank range and missed.
Yeah, I think his eyes were closed. I think if you look at him, you see now that he didn't even have his eyes open, and just he was so startled when the guy creeped up on him that he just pulled the trigger out of fear and lack of discipline, and completely missed the guy, and is somewhat panicking now because of how much he's escalated the situation. Maybe he shot like right over his shoulder or something. He's just like, oh my God, oh no, I'm so sorry, oh no, oh shit,
oh he cussed.
So he responds by opening fully automatic fire on all of you, spraying rounds wildly through the tunnel. However, let's roll for initiative to determine how this actually plays out.
What do I roll initiative with?
Dexterity plus wits. Plus,
that's your modifier.
Yeah. Sorry. Just roll 1d10 and then add the number of dots you have in dexterity, celerity, and wits.
Okay.
Oh my God!
Ooh.
Damn.
What'd you get?
I rolled another 2.
Oh man!
Yet again, just my initiative rolls.
But it's better than my rolls in total.
Too much to ask the editor for the YouTube video. Can I get a montage of all of my initiative rolls?
Hell no.
Because I don't think I've rolled above 5 one time for any combat yet in the campaign.
What is your total?
11.
It's
handy.
in the lead so far. What is Archibald's?
No, he got a 15.
15.
I'm first.
Okay, so the guard is spraying the whole tunnel. Everyone has an opportunity to try to dodge out of the way. I believe with strafing fire, the only way that you can do like a dodging action is to drop fully down on the ground.
Wow, this breaks my heart to say, but I think that's what Thurgood's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm declaring my intention to panic and flop to the ground like, oh my God, I'm being shot at. This is terrifying. So I'm holding down on my hat, like and the fear from the gunfire, and I'm just like falling to the ground. That's my plan.
Okay, so declaring actions. The guard We'll go, lowest initiative to highest. You already know what the guard is trying to do. Excavo, what is your plan?
I mean, I also have a gun, but I would want to, like, dodge and shoot if possible. So, like, maybe duck down.
You can do that.
I assume that he's just, like, spraying, like, side to side.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Yeah, I wanna dodge those bullets and shoot my own bullets.
I'm just gonna play an Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
You can split your dice pool between the two, those two actions, and that works. Yeah. Augustine, what are you doing?
Well, shit. I don't have anything in my hands if he's shooting very suddenly.
You could throw the bear cub at him.
No. Oh.
He literally did that last time there was an attack underground.
And I huck my bear into the horde of rats.
R.I.P.
You're throwing the bear cub into the rat swarm?
It was fucked up then. It's fucked up now. Wearing him as a hat is bad enough.
Now we've had all this character development and bonding, and like Augustine's a changed man.
We will see.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 dexterity. Am I able to like just whip a tomato out of my pockets and try and huck it at his face? What? Or is that a bit too unrealistic?
Because you are holding a bear cub.
I will run with the assumption that just whenever Augustine gets nervous, he like palms a tomato, so you already have one in your hand. You can whip a tomato at him.
I will attempt to whip a tomato at his face for blinding purposes, and hopefully not exhaust my ability to get the fuck out of the way.
You can split your dice pool between that attack and also dodging.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okie doke. Next up, Thurgood. What are you doing? Just using your whole dice pool to hit the deck?
Man, yeah. Am I close enough to the guy as the one that shot him originally? I guess I'm hoping for the dumb luck of slicing him with my hat on my way down.
I will say this. You will roll for dodging, and if you have more successes in dodging than successful shooting dice that get applied to you, if you have more successes in your dodging, that will turn into an accidental attack with your chakram hat.
Love that. That's exactly the energy I was hoping
attack
for.
with my hat.
Next up, in the initiative list is the guard. The guard just panicking, just going back and forth, just spraying, trying to hit all of you. And then Archibald.
Is the guard like looking at where he's shooting, or they're shooting, or are they just?
He's looking at all of you, and he is shooting at all of you.
Just.
Yes. Like he's on a turret. Archibald, how do you respond to all of this?
I too am going to hit the deck. Yeah, I'm a little too far away for hammer time.
Archibald, give me a dexterity plus athletics roll. Difficulty 7. Dodging a strafing attack has a +1 difficulty. So that looks like 1 success. The guard is going to roll for his attack. So that's going to be his dexterity plus firearms plus 10, because that's how strafing works. Difficulty is 8. Ugh. Okay, so difficulty 8. 1, 2, 3,
Oh, God.
4. That's just 4 successes, though. A whole mess of dice, but 4 successes.
What?
Oh, it's a difficulty 8.
Difficulty
Difficulty
8. I was looking at all those 7s like, fuck me.
Yeah, dang.
5 7s on the difficulty 8 roll. Shit.
Lucked out.
That's the difference between getting wrecked and not getting wrecked.
So the way strafing works is successes are divided evenly among all of the targets. And extra successes add to each target's damage pool, which means everyone gets a single success and there's no extra dice added to the damage roll when we do that. So that means already Archibald got enough dodge successes to counter that. Archibald has successfully dodged. Thurgood, give me a dexterity plus athletics roll to dodge.
Plus celerity?
Yes, sure. You could fall really fast somehow.
What? You make gravity work harder.
Okay, failed my last roll. This one went better.
That is 4 successes that I see. You successfully sliced into him with your chakram hat for 3 dice.
That's incredible.
Nice.
This poor bastard rolled so bad with those 7s.
He was panicked. Augustine, 5 dice divided however you would like between dodging and hucking a tomato like he's a bad old-timey comedian or something.
Can I ask a quick question? Yeah. So Thurgood has to be like right underneath the guy, right?
Yeah, like
to
right
have,
at his
to have
feet.
like her. Yeah. Oh man, he is fucking terrified and has no idea that the hat really hurt him. Like he was holding it on his
Augustine,
head.
you are extremely green over there
Yeah,
in your
all right.
camera.
Yeah, he's got a very Hulk vibe.
It ain't easy.
Yeah. You have
He's always angry.
I'm going to do 3 dice towards my tomato. Go and throw those.
Oh wow! Wow!
I am whipping this guy
Are you
right upside
serious?
the dome with the motherfucking tomato.
And
Just
that's what you do with that great roll. Throw a tomato.
right between the motherfucking eyes.
And roll 2 dice for dodging.
There you go.
That's 1 success.
That's all you needed.
It's enough.
Did not get hit. Finally, Excavo, divide 3 dice up between dodging and shooting.
So yeah, I remember thinking when she declared her action that this is like, and I love that. I think it's right on brand. But I was like, this is way more badass of a move than she's really geared up to execute.
So wait, I have 3 dice total?
Total. That's correct. That's correct. You have 3 total dice with which to do this
Okay.
badass combat thing that you're doing here.
Okay, I will do...
Oh yeah, and I forgot the dodging attack is difficulty 7, which I think
Difficulty is 7, right. So I want to do...
everybody hit.
I would rather, like, successfully dodge than successfully shoot once. So I'm going to use 2 dice to dodge. I do it.
Hella dodge.
And then I'm going to do 1 dice to shoot. And it's a 6. I don't know.
Yeah,
That
did it.
That works? Okay, I did it. I dodged
Unreal.
and I shot.
Unreal. Wow.
Yay!
Surprising badassery.
I mean, I'm thinking this thing is like, I don't know. I mean, I know it wouldn't like getting shot. I would try and aim for the head, knowing me. I don't know. I probably wouldn't make it.
It's just like a dude, right? It's
Would
just
be
like
like
a
a-
guard.
Yeah, this thing. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
This thing?
he's
It's
just a
person.
guy.
Turns out this was death, and he was just very underwhelming.
I mean, I guess maybe, but as so far as we know, this is just a panicking man.
Yeah, it is a guy who looks like not so much security guard like mall security where there's just sort of like a button-up shirt with like a little
It's like a walkie-talkie.
like a walkie-talkie and stuff. This is
Yeah.
a guy that looks a bit more paramilitary, like security for like a high security place that like he works
Yeah.
for some company that would issue rifles to their security guards. He has
And of course I would try this move, because, like, my megalomania, I've got to be the best. So,
You
yeah,
believe.
of course I would try and shoot right between the eyes.
be the very best. Okay, so rifle.
Best.
So let's resolve what damage happens. Archibald dodges successfully. Augustine dodges successfully and pegs the guy in the face with a tomato. Excavo dodges successfully and shoots him. Excavo, go ahead and give me. You have a semi-automatic pistol. Is that right?
No, it's a handgun.
Okay.
That's a semi-automatic pistol. I don't
Whatever.
know any pump action pistols.
Go ahead and roll.
It's just a little 9.
Go ahead and roll 4 dice to determine damage.
Okay. And I don't add anything. I just roll them.
Correct,
lethal.
because like your.
All right, I'm roll. Oh, there's a 10 in there.
It's too lethal.
10, 7, 2, 3.
Yeah, 2 lethal. You would add something to it if you got extra successes on your 2-hit roll. And that would reflect like you aimed really well or something like that. But other than that, like you don't add your dexterity or strength or something, because like once the bullet leaves the gun, you're no longer in control of how much damage it does. So where is my card for the guard? Okay.
I'm helping.
You hit him somewhere in the chest, and you see a little puff of his tactical vest getting hit by a bullet. Thurgood? Let's go crazy. Let's say that this counts as a knife attack, which includes strength plus potence. Please roll strength plus potence plus 1 to determine how much damage you accidentally do falling on this guy with your Razor Frisbee wizard hat.
I think that's 8 dice. So I got that one from before. 4 successes.
I was going to say, I think increased difficulty makes sense for this.
No doubt.
Like difficulty 7, so that's still like 1, 2, that's 3 successes.
Yeah.
So that's 3.
So you're attacking with your hat.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cold shot. Like I'm essentially holding it on my head as I fall down.
Walk me through what the squirrel is doing.
He's just chilling. He's probably hunkered down as well. I imagine him like in the same position as Thurgood. You know, like
with his
he knows.
hat, like
Yeah, exactly. As if he had a little squirrel hat, holding it into place. And they're just like holding on for dear life. And Thurgood like probably sees the guy's feet on either side of his head. And it's just like, oh my god. Just completely terrified, like rocking back and forth. I think he's dropped his shotgun. And he is, because he's using both hands to hold his hat. So his shotgun's at his feet or maybe underneath his body. And but he was holding on so tight that the blades from his hat like slice the guy in the face. I mean, Thurgood is tall, and just
I always think of him as being really short.
Just knocked the guy down, didn't knock the guy down, but like hit him on the way down with multiple blades. 4 of the little spinny blades at the top, the smallest ones, all got the guy right in the face, and then Thurgood is just on the ground, has no idea that he hurt the dude at all, is only afraid. His eyes are still closed from the shotgun blast. All of this is like all muscle memory and instinct, and he doesn't know where it's from, and he can't believe that it's gotten him like as close to dying as he's ever been, and he's fucking terrified. So that's the vibe from Thurgood.
Big mood.
From Thurgood's perspective, he, in a panic, fires off a shot. He sees immediately that the guard responds with emptying his entire clip into him and his new friends. He hits the ground. He hears another shot from Excavo. He hears a weird whipping and a splat sound, and he falls to the ground. And through probably like hands covering his eyes, it's silent after the rifle's magazine is emptied. And right in front of his face, he hears the dripping of blood gradually pouring down, like from between this guy's legs, faster and faster. You look up and you see that his throat has been opened up, and he looks not dead, but just quite upset about it. Like, still standing, still on his feet, pretty defiant in a way that doesn't seem 100% human. Like, maybe he's just in shock and he doesn't know what happened to him. And then he So it looks like he's going to start reloading his rifle, but he kind of like stumbles a little bit and he holds his throat and a big squirt of blood comes out of it, and he falls down to his knees and falls on top of you, further stabbing himself on your hat and confusing the squirrel.
Oh no. So he's like literally on top of Thurgood.
Yep. And not moving. He's passed out.
Did we see how was it the hat that just like
It was the hat, yes.
almost dismembered him? Okay.
And we are now out of combat. Your ears are ringing a little bit from all of the gunfire that just happened in a storm drain.
Ma.
I'm still just standing there.
Yeah, and you look around,
cool.
you survey the scene. You don't see any other backup that the guy had. You don't hear any other sounds other than the sounds that you were already hearing when you dropped into the storm drain, which were the sounds that came from like a fork in the tunnel where you see a flickering light reflected off the walls, and you hear what sounds like overlapping, whispering voices in multiple languages. And you also hear what sounds like shuffling around and activity. And that sound has quieted a little bit in response to all the commotion.
Can I tell what the languages are?
You cannot. There's so many overlapping. You just know that you don't recognize any kind of English.
But I know.
Oh man. So are you saying the first thing that Thurgood sees when he opens his eyes is just the guy's blood leaking down? Yep. And like pulling? Oh my god. Thurgood is struggling right now. Like he's like can't believe where he is, how his life has turned. He misses the cage. He's just like the meals always came at the same time, and it wasn't so bad, the experiments. Hello.
Healthcare.
What? Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah. Yeah. He's seriously having like a full on existential crisis, and he's still like kind of laying down in the blood.
And I believe I'm laying like beside you since I also dodged. And now with my new development, I think as I hear you saying these things, I kind of inch closer and reach out an arm, and I'm just like, please don't leave us.
Is there a way I can
It's
calm
not so
them
bad.
down with my new power? My forgetful mind power?
I think you can just talk to them, just have a conversation and reassure them.
I always have to hack things.
You could try to change their memory of what just happened.
No, I'm always trying to hack things, So, yeah, I guess I go over and just make sure they're in one piece. We're all good.
Everyone is in the same number of pieces that they started in.
Acting somewhat indignant from having like fallen to the floor while thinking about his bear cub and losing a tomato to that cur.
As if you cannot throw another.
Good word.
Augustine gets up and brushes himself off. Just bully. Good God. And if the sounds of the whispering in other languages are still available without much of a thought to everyone else, I kind of like slither that way and try and listen. See if I can't pick up like tone or anything that I'm familiar with.
I'm just imagining you like doing the worm over.
I mean, it wouldn't be out of character.
Weird sideways worm. Just like.
Well, imagine the sound of 100 people all having like whispered conversations between each other at the end of a long, echoey, like stone tunnel. You can barely make it out as being like human voices, but there's too much there to really make out anything specific. These are ghost sounds. You hear ghost sounds.
Big hint. Don't try and decipher the languages.
I'm super curious because if I'm hearing them as whispers, like a bunch of overlapping whispers, I'm curious why the gunfire did not attract them to us.
So we heard this before combat happened?
Yeah, as soon as you dropped down in, that was just the atmosphere of the tunnel. And now that the guy is apparently dead, like, you're standing there and you're waiting for something else to pop up, and you don't hear the sound of anyone approaching you or anything like that. Just there is an ominous fork in the tunnel and what appears to be a lit room around the corner, and some sort of noise is coming from it.
I suppose it's the many ghosts, some of which attacked us in the house above. That's my guess. That's my little fan theory.
I go ahead and don my bear helmet and scavenge the corpse for his things.
Looting?
What kind of things are you trying to get?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
He does have a fully automatic weapon, which I don't think we got when I bought the gun shop. So I check him for a spare clip, and assuming he's got it, now I got it.
You do find a spare clip, or magazine. I'm not sure with rifles.
It might be a magazine.
And yes, he because he was trying to load the second clip in when he fell down. You also find a walkie-talkie and a flashlight and a few zip ties and a real bitchin' pair of boots. I mean, some nice boots.
They will not stop bitching.
And
cursed boots of itching.
And a little badge that says TCU Guard.
I absolutely take the gun, take the extra magazine, and don this stupendous walkie-talkie, because the last one I had was just a soup can with string attached to it.
Of a teacher's credit union guard.
Oh, there's also, he had a ballistic vest on, and also like a riot control helmet kind of thing.
The vest is damaged.
Indeed.
The vest is damaged. Yeah, that's all I take off of him. I just want this gun and this walkie-talkie.
Vest is damaged, but still works for 2
I want the vest.
Grab it.
Yeah, I want to get the vest.
Thurgood takes the badge.
Yeah, yes, someone should take the badge.
So, Augustine has the rifle and the walkie. Excavo has the vest. Does anyone grab the helmet?
It could be a crown for a prince.
Yeah, technically only Archibald and Excavo can fit anything else on their heads.
Oh, this is true.
I do check in on the squirrel, just make sure he's doing all right.
I assume the
Squeakum, squeaking.
Wait, the vest is already questionable. I assume the helmet's too big.
The helmet would constitute an armor rating of I'm going to say 3 for anything specifically targeting your head, or that could conceivably hurt your head. The vest is damaged. It's gone from 3 armor to 2 armor.
The helmet's too gaudy. I don't want it.
Okay.
It doesn't match. It doesn't match the ensemble that I currently am wearing already.
Absolutely not.
Thurgood for sure grabs it. If he sees everybody just like ignoring it for style reasons, like Archibald's like, nah, don't want it. Terrified Thurgood straps it on happily.
Sure. You have it. Hat? You have it in your inventory. We'll hand wave that away.
Oh, right. Of course. Yeah, he picks it up and straps it to his belt, I guess.
Are the voices emanating from the lit room?
Yep. Some going on in that room.
With my bear helmet donned, Augustine once more slithers towards the edge of that corner and just kind of like peers around the corner.
Very subtly.
With his bear helmet.
Oh, there's a map.
There's a map. There's a map.
Hey, there is a map.
There's a map.
When did that get here?
There's me.
So as you're getting closer to the corner that you have to turn to get into what seems to be a room, there's a body bag, and there are bloody footprints going up and down this little tunnel.
Does it look safe to follow the footprints? No.
Well,
The
footprints
is that why we're here?
The footprints go into the room and is presumably not safe in that room.
But that is why we're here. So I do follow.
Augustin peers in, and right behind his leering eye is also the barrel of his fully automatic, presumably loaded gun.
So you go into the room, is that right?
I poke my head around the corner to see if I can see what's in the room.
Okay.
Hopefully unnoticed.
You do that, and I have quite a lot to describe to you.
Oh, dear.
So you see a dirty concrete room measuring about 25 feet square with a surprisingly high ceiling. There is a long wooden table on the opposite wall, strewn with various objects, including an oil lamp, which is the only source of light in the room. On the floor, there are 3 body bags and bloody, mutilated corpses lying in various positions, including on a short wooden table. The corpse on the table appears to have had its abdomen hollowed out, and a mass of thick vines has taken root inside of it and are spilling out onto the floor as if someone had dead bodies all over the floor and was like, this one, I want it on a table, and I want it to be a pot for my plant. Who knows why? In one corner of the room, a dead horse with pale greenish skin is rotting and collecting flies. The floor slopes subtly downward toward a drain in the center of the room, and beside that drain there is a wooden coffin and also a large tarp covering a bloody pile of some sort. Finally, you look around, and you especially would spot several tall reed-like plants in pots of swamp-like mud. And that is what you get from a first glance. What do you do now?
Do I recognize those plants coming, like, blossoming out of the swamp-like mud by any chance?
Of course, that's the first thing he asks about. Tell me more about the plants!
Can I suddenly be poking out beside and under him, saying, God, this looks even worse than that guard's helmet.
You and
all right, Tim Gunn.
and Archibald sees even more. The answer to the plants, I forgot. I didn't write down what these plants were, but they are a plant that is not native to this continent. They are an Egyptian plant that has some sort of spiritual significance, I think. I wrote down what the plant looks like. I didn't write down what the plant was, but you would recognize it as being Egyptian. Archibald, you poke in the room and you see all these things, and you also see several figures standing and walking around. In the far corner of the room stands a short, shriveled, mummy-like figure wearing a plain white mask, a tattered gray robe, and rolls of cloth wrapped around his body, looking a little bit like Mum Ra, just to have an analogy.
Okay.
As he turns toward you, you see the light from the oil lamp glint off of a golden medallion worn around his neck. In a bony hand, he is clutching a shepherd's crook, which is a long, thick wooden stick that curves into a hook at the top. Coiled around his arm is a large snake, stretching from his wrist to across his back, with the snake's head resting on his opposite shoulder. Spotting you and Augustin poking your heads around the corner, and already tipped off by the gunfire, of course, this figure raises his arms up and snatches 3 faint wisps of vaguely humanoid light out of the air and throws them one after another in the direction of 3 of the corpses on the ground.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's death.
Necromancy.
He then snatches a small old trumpet covered in lightly carved occult symbols from the table next to him and plays a single long, low note before tossing it aside. Immediately, one of the corpses rises to its feet and turns to face you. It is a pale woman with a vaguely frightened look frozen on her face. And you don't recognize her, but Excavo would, as the victim that she recently drained too much blood from and left to die on the street. The second corpse to stand up
No.
is a familiar-looking man carrying a clarinet and wearing a tuxedo, which is stained red from the blood flowing out of a horrifically slashed throat. Augustine might recognize this person if his victims even matter to him at this point.
They don't.
Recognize him as the member of the gang called the Orchestra, whom he knifed in the throat on his first night in the city. The third corpse to rise up and turn to you is a male, apparent suicide victim with pale skin and slashed wrists, which no one present recognizes, but something within Thurgood feels perhaps a small tinge of guilt, because this is, in fact, who Darby accidentally completely drained and then tried to stage a what looked like a suicide scene to explain the person's death in an alley.
Seems like it went great.
So you hear the whispers a lot more clearly. They're all around you. They seem to be enveloping the area that you're in, even though you haven't moved into the room yet. What you see before you is bizarre and unsettling, but not as much as what you can't see. The vaguely eerie atmosphere of the haunted house is magnified tenfold here. The room is filled with unearthly whispers that come from all directions and sometimes sound like they're right next to your head. Ghostly faces with expressions of torment and confusion float along the ceiling and dart unpredictably toward you. So I will need a courage roll from everyone.
Just one dice for each courage dot?
Yes, roll the number of dice equal to how many dots in courage you have. And I'll be friendly, and I'll say difficulty 5.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking brave.
That's 5 successes from Thurgood. 3 successes from Augustine. 3 successes for Archibald. That leaves Excavo.
A screaming, startled security guard is enough to make Thurgood drop to the ground, but an entire, carnival of necromantic horrors he's just like, let's go!
I actually think he's just so tunnel vision, he's not paying any attention. He's so traumatized, he's literally able to successfully ignore the weird malaise of ghosts everywhere. He's just like, you know what? Nope. Not grounded in science. That's,
Yep, 2 successes. Yeah, so everyone passed that with flying colors.
At this point, are we able to see the room on the map, though?
Indeed. Allow me to reveal it for you.
It wasn't Kabuki. I'm so disappointed.
So, breaking down everything, you see body bags all over the place. You see 3 zombies that have risen up, and they're all around here. Cut wrist 1, throat slash 1, impale Excavo's victim. There are other bodies strewn around that aren't animated.
Is this one the planty boy?
Yep, there's the dude on the table with all the plants around him. There's an inanimate rotting horse in the corner there. We've got some Egyptian-looking plants. We've got this big tarp with like a bloody pile under it. We've got this coffin. And finally, we have Mum Ra wearing the white mask that is quite near to an exit to the room. And that robed man stoops down and hisses, flicking a strange forked tongue out of a small mouth hole in the mask. Then, with a head cocked to the side, we assume like all of you are looking into the room. I will assume.
Yeah.
With his head cocked to the side, he points at Excavo and he says, "Zunfaxe, warum bist du in diesem Mädchen?" He then briskly starts shuffling out of the room through the tunnel on the opposite side as the three zombies look up at you and raise their arms menacingly. And we are now entering combat.
Okay. So I have no idea what this person said to me.
Correct. You can guess if you want to.
I mean, it was definitely German.
Yeah, Augustine could remember it verbatim and look it up later, but
alas, I see the Viney boy with shit hanging out of him. I guess we're rolling initiative. Are we rolling initiative?
You all already rolled initiative, and we could just continue using that initiative order.
You know, I don't know. We could roll again.
Well, it's a different encounter, right?
Yeah.
Let's, for the sake of expediency, let's continue with the initiative roll that we currently have. Sorry about that.
Counter.
So zombies, unsurprisingly, have very low initiative. So you know that they are moving toward you and seem to be wanting to grab you. Excavo, what is your move?
Well, I would probably shoot him. So I'm here. Yep. I would probably aim at cut wrists Z over here, and I would shoot. That's what I would do.
Okay. Next up, Augustine. What was it that you were going to do with those plants?
I walk up to zombie human pot for plants and try and turn the table over and roll his body towards the zombies. And then attempt to throw down some fat Dance of Vines action on him.
You know, it's enough to clarify. It's a lot of vines all sort of like in a pile. It looks like the vines could reach at least the two closest zombies, just like from where they are right now.
I just run up and attempt to throw down some Dance of Vines and encourage them to grab the two nearest zombies.
Okay, and like hold them in place?
Yeah, at least until I'm able to do another action where I'm going to encourage them to grow all the way through the zombies' bodies.
Interesting. Thurgood, what is your move?
So I guess I'm just going to shoot at whatever one gets closest with my shotgun.
Okay, it looks like the cut wrists one.
So I'm not moving toward them, I'm just like holding back.
And finally, Archibald, what is your move?
So the masked person, are they mobile?
Yeah,
yes.
they're gone.
They're starting to move out of the room. They turned around and they're not particularly quickly because they're moving kind of like an old person. But
that's Mumra.
That Mumra is moving out through that tunnel on the opposite side.
Okay. Well, first off, Graham. Just from player to DM, I think that this guy, I really like the cut of this guy's jib. This is a cool bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
I like him. I love Thundercats. So way to go. I'm not dealing with the small fries. I'm leaving that to the other people. I'm still trying to avenge my sweet Onion Jack, and I don't want him to be reanimated into a zombie, so I'm going for this dude. How would I ever get to him? Oh, yeah, I can jump super high.
Yes!
Oh,
yes!
I don't need Augustine to grow me over there this time.
Do you jump very high, or do you jump very far?
I think I can do both. I can just, like, really super jump.
I mean, this would need to be a room with an especially high ceiling, like I already said it had. You can.
Gosh.
you can, in fact, clear at least... you can at least get across the room and get...
You leapfrog over us.
You can get within... I mean, you can get, like, right behind him. That dude has already, like... He's around the corner and he's in the tunnel, but given the speed that he was moving, you're gonna catch right up to him if you do that.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm going straight for him because I feel like if he's summoning like other soldiers to fight,
big problem.
It's like you've got to take care of him right away.
So what I'm going to do, like, normally I would say no roll. You can hop around. If you're not trying to like hit a target specifically, then no reason to have a roll. However, you are going to be leaping over a few zombies with their like hands out trying to grab stuff. I'm going to say that 2 of the zombies have an opportunity to try to grab you in the air, but it's going to be difficulty of 9. It'll be very implausible that they could actually do that, but I am going to give them that chance. Okay, so I'm going to roll for those zombies real quick because you are going to be acting first. I think it's fair to say, like, if they get any successes, then you would have an opportunity to roll athletics plus strength to overcome those successes.
Okay.
So 1 second. Both of them get a single success. So go ahead and give me, let me see, strength plus, I think this is fair, strength plus potence plus athletics, which is going to be 7 dice for you. And if you get literally any successes, these zombies will not be able to grab you.
No crowd surfing.
That I get them.
Oh shit! You kick their grasping limbs out of the way. And
the limbs fly off of their like decomposed bodies.
And I'm going to move you to the end of the room. Next up, Thurgood, give me a dexterity plus firearms roll.
I believe that's 8.
See, 4 successes.
4 successes, 2 crits.
I thought crit only happens when during damage.
They can always be good. They invoke your specialty if it matters, if it has an effect.
Okay. We're only 30 sessions deep, and I'm still figuring the game out.
I mean, combat rules are very complicated. Thurgood has a specialty in pistols, so the 10s don't count for double for him in this particular instance.
Let's go ahead and resolve that damage immediately. Please roll 8 dice. Plus 3 for your extra successes, which is fucking crazy. So please roll 11 dice to see how much lethal you do. That is crazy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Dang.
So it sounds like a quarter of the zombie just liquefies.
Next up, we'll skip to Excavo and say Excavo doesn't see whether or not her bullet lands because she was aiming for the head, which does not exist anymore by the time Thurgood fires off his shot, which cleanly removes the first zombie's head, and it drops to the ground. Augustine, give me a willpower roll, difficulty 6.
And willpower roll is the total willpower pool, not what you currently have?
Yep, your permanent willpower.
Okay.
So for you, I think that is 6, yeah.
It's 6, yeah.
Yeah, just barely. 1 success.
Yeah, them vines are dancing. They're boogieing.
The planes will stay active for 1 turn per success you score on the roll. So give me an intelligence plus occult roll, standard difficulty.
4 plus 4, so 8. 8 at standard. Clicky, clicky. Wrong clicky, clicky. There we go.
Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
He's got enough. That's 1. It's 1. 1 turn.
Okay. The vines are active for 1 turn. What specifically do you want them to do?
I want them to grab throat/zombie and then try and pull themselves through this grate until throat/zombie is smashed potatoes.
So, like, try and pull the zombie through the grate
Yeah.
and, like
he's Play-Doh.
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
like
wait.
a Betty Spaghetti.
Explain to me how this works.
The vines grab the dude and then put some of them through the grate, and then they just start pulling the whole of them through. And hopefully with enough force, they'll just, like, crush the zombie against the grate. And,
Like, yeah, like pushing Play-Doh through a grate.
yeah, ideally.
Okay.
Ideally.
That's interesting. So they have a strength and dexterity. The vines have strength and dexterity equal to half of your willpower rounded down, so that is 3. So they have the strength of like an average person. So this is actually
that's suboptimal.
That's actually possible. They also have a brawl rating equal to 1 lower than you do, which is 0.
0.
Once you bump your brawl rating, they will have that will actually make your plants more combat worthy. What is your strength and dexterity? 2 and
Very bad.
3. I'm gonna say roll 3 dice representing your. Oh no! Roll 3 dice because that's what the plant's dexterity is. What kind of successes did you get?
1.
1 success. The plants successfully snag throat/zombie and appear to be holding him in place.
Okay. Progress. Progress is progress.
I was hoping throat/zombie would try to play his clarinet, but it wouldn't work on his mouth and he'd have to do it with his gash.
I should have had the vines, like, puppet into throat/zombie through its open throat cavity.
Obviously.
Jesus
Why weren't you
Christ.
thinking?
The green path is such a wholesome, like hippie choice, and everything is so like metal and brutal in your application of it.
The metal gardener.
Who is just like closest? The pale zombie tries to grab
Me?
Excavo, and gonna roll for that. With 2 successes, the zombie has grabbed onto Excavo and now looks a little bitey.
Is this like every other RPG where, like, you can only have one permanent state of being infection at a time? Like, you can't be a zombie and also a vampire.
No, there's express rules for combinations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They get really crazy when werewolves and vampires get combined.
Oh, no.
Vampires and there's like human magic that, I don't know. There's like combos.
So declaring actions, lowest initiative first. The throat/zombie is trying to get out of the vines, but he is staying in place. The pale zombie has grabbed onto Excavo and looks like he's going to try to bite her. And no one sees what the Mum Ra looking one is doing because he's around the corner. Excavo, what are you doing?
Doesn't Archibald see it? I thought he landed right by him.
Archibald is, we'll say, about to get in range to see that creature,
So, like,
whoever he may be.
The creature has continued down the hallway or wherever, and Archibald just got to the exit.
Yep.
Yeah, that tracks.
So for me, I'm going to put the gun right in his mouth and just pull the trigger. Like,
good move.
It's right there on me. Yeah.
So I'm going to say that would be a called shot, but with not the usual difficulty of something like a headshot. It would just be like difficulty +1. Because you have to maneuver it up and into the mouth.
Or wherever. I mean, its head is like right there. Just want to, explode the head.
You know what? Sure, I'd give it to you. No added difficulty. Since the head is the part coming toward you and not particularly fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
I'd give that to you. Augustine, your vines will stop being animated this turn unless if you continue animating them. Do you want to do something about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna do something about that. I'm gonna encourage them to pull harder, and hopefully there's enough left of them after this that I can get a sample, because I don't know what those vines are, but they seem cool. I'm gonna go ahead and continue Dance of the Vines, and I like my original idea. I want Play-Doh Zombie. Let's go.
Okay. Next up, Thurgood. You just offed one zombie with one shot.
In my imagination, Thurgood is just having complete and total tunnel vision right now, ignoring almost everything that's going on around him. It's a creepy smile on his face, and I think he just shoots at the other one. It's like, oh, hello, and just pulls the trigger at the one right in front of him.
The one that is trying to bite Excava?
Yes.
Okay. No, I'm just imagining, like, last time you were both shooting and Thurgood shot first. I wonder if that exact same thing might happen again with Thurgood stealing Excava's kill. Archibald, you are, I assume, running down the tunnel in pursuit of whatever we want to call, whatever that figure might happen to be.
Mumra.
Okay.
My plan is I'm going as fast as I can, and I'm going to try and sickle the snake first.
Ooh, okay.
I want to dispatch, like, all his...
The snake that he's wearing like a boa.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I basically want to try and, like, just cut the snake in half wherever I can most easily reach it.
All right. Well, all actions have been declared. Let's see how that shakes out. I'm going to reveal what Archibald sees when he goes around the corner.
I'm not going to like it.
It's going to be really awesome stuff, I bet. Really good stuff for us, I'm sure.
It's going to be a pile of money.
Mm-hmm. Treasure.
Big old pile of money.
Not that we need it.
And
We're
hey, look,
loaded.
we can leave. We can just leave this town.
Oh, look.
Fuck this place.
An exit where they'll never find us.
Get out of contract free card.
Oh, great. Another green pit.
Yep, green pits. So, Archibald, you run into a very short tunnel and find another chamber that I have, I believe, written a description of. Oh, here are more of my notes. Augustine, you asked earlier what the plants are. They are papyrus plants, native to Africa and used by ancient Egyptians to make papyrus paper. Each is 10 feet tall and topped with a dense cluster of thin, thread-like rays, a half-foot in length. Figured this would be important for you, so I wrote
They
it
are
out.
used also to make excellent fonts.
Sure, very, very edgelord.
The one font.
Okay, so Archibald, you are now standing on a walkway at the edge of a pool of dark, dirty water. You can't see the bottom, and it appears that this is some sort of stormwater overflow chamber. You don't see any other entrances or exits into this room. It appears to be just like a dead end, but you also look around and you don't see that other dude. Also, the water looks still and undisturbed, so you don't get the impression that the dude had jumped into the water and run away. He just went around the corner, and you, at the moment, you don't see him.
No other doors?
Nice illusion at the moment.
Do you take any other action while you are there in the doorway checking out this room?
I think I would basically just look around and see if I can perceive any other kinds of like clues or indications as to what's going on in this room.
You don't see any like objects in the room. It's a big pool of water that you get the impression, because you don't see any like pipes or anything that would like have water fall into the pool. You get the impression there must be like some drain or something in the pool that's like filling it up with like excess storm water or river water or something like that. But it's like, it's dark and murky enough that you can't see down to the bottom of it. Also, this is all lit by the reflected light from the one oil lamp in the previous room. So like everything's pretty dark, but you look around and you're listening, and it appears that you're alone in this room, even though you know that doesn't make any sense because you followed a guy that just went in there like a couple seconds before you went in. So we are going to leave that right there and move on to Thurgood. Thurgood, give me a dexterity plus firearms roll to shoot the zombie that is going after Excava.
4 successes.
Damn.
You really did get all your bad rolls out at the beginning of the session, man. You were just going to melt zombies with...
Indeed. And let's go ahead and do damage for that. Once again, 11 dice for damage.
Oh!
Shit. 1, 2, 3... That's 4. 4 successes?
Yeah.
A big chunk comes out of... let's say you blow a hole clean through the zombie's torso. That does not appear to stop it, though. Next up, Augustine, give me one of those willpower rolls, difficulty 6.
Copy that.
2 successes. That is enough. And give me an occult plus intelligence roll, standard difficulty. 2 successes. So your vines will be active for 2 turns. This turn and the next turn. What do your vines do? Oh, yeah. You're just trying to like mash the guy.
Yeah.
Roll 3 dice to see how successfully the vines like grapple with that zombie.
Not very.
Ugh. So no successes on that. Excavo, give me a dexterity plus firearms roll.
0 plus 2 is 2.
Pretty much the same as Thurgood.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh!
Nat 20.
Wow.
Rolling
Receive.
doubles.
Unreal.
For that, I guess, technical nat 20, not only do you blow your attacker zombie's head completely off, it goes clean through that zombie and wings the next one, the one that is currently escaping from some vines.
Mr. Throat Slash?
Yeah.
Or Ms.
Indeed. Oh no, it was a dude. And does damage to that zombie as well.
Do I roll damage?
I think he's just going to give you a level of lethal on that guy.
Alright.
It obliterated the first zombie.
Yeah, right.
It did 1 lethal to the zombie directly behind it.
Okay. Awesome. Yes.
So next up, the throat slash zombie runs up, and because it is covered in vines that it is escaping from, but still it has to spend some of its movement like getting disentangled from it, it clears half of the distance to get to you and is closer to you, but is not yet upon you. Finally, lowest in the initiative order, Archibald, you are suddenly startled by a figure, something, suddenly jumping into the water. Someone that was apparently completely invisible, standing nearby, jumping into the water and starting to rapidly swim to the bottom of this pool. You get the impression that somehow the dude was just not visible to you, but was a few feet away, but broke through that invisibility when he jumped in the water. So next round, lowest in the initiative order, you see Mum Ra rapidly disappearing under the water, going into the dark, just swimming kind of straight down. The throat slash zombie, the former orc, member of the orchestra gang, he is once again running right up to Excavo, trying to get grabby and bitey. Next up, Excavo, what are you doing? Gonna shoot?
So there's another zombie coming at me? Yes, I shoot. I don't even move or get up from where I am. I just re-aim, fire.
And Augustin, you can have the vines take an action, and you can also take a separate, unrelated action. Because I'm going to say you already gave them the order to, like, hey, grab that thing and do shit, and you don't have to, like, babysit that process in every turn.
So, is the zombie still within reach of the vines?
The zombie still is in reach of the vines. And might still have some of the vines, like, attached to him that he's just dragging along.
I'm going to tell the vines to get their shit together and pull. Figure it out, bud. Pull them. Play-Doh zombie. And while that's happening, I will... I think I'm just trying to harvest some of this papyrus now.
You're going to just run up and grab some of that plant?
You just don't even care about the zombie attacking.
I mean,
That leaves on the brain.
I just saw, like, 2 whole-ass zombies become evaporated blood mist from bullets. I'm feeling pretty confident that I can just, do some gardening while...
You feel comfortable here.
Yeah. I like, unless they roll a critical miss and shoot me while I'm on my way to get my plants, I think I'm going plant shopping. Like, let's grab this papyrus.
Okay.
Let's grab this papyrus.
I mean, you did kind of delegate the combat stuff to the plant that is under your control. So, yeah, take a load off. Just go sightseeing. Next up, Thurgood. Are you shooting the zombie that's running up on you?
Yeah, just same action, reloading, smiling, losing touch with reality, firing this shotgun.
Dope. And finally, Archibald, what do you do?
I dive in.
Okay. With the intention to, like, if you get within range of the other dude that's swimming, what is your intention? To, like, grab the dude? What's the longer term plan?
I think I just don't want to lose him.
Okay.
I want to make
Well,
sure
let me float something by you. What happens if you, like, super jump for a high dive?
So you jump and then you go
please, so
deep
I can try to
water.
like just get him.
Plug the drain with your body.
I haven't thought about how underwater attacks would work here. I mean, I've got the blade though, so I think if I can grapple him, then I can go for it.
Sure. Oh yeah, and you wanted to do you...
I want to kill the snake first because
Okay.
I perceive that as like the more ready like physical threat.
So since swimming is your movement, we can say that you are trying to attack the snake. If you get within range, you can do that.
Glad we sorted out what happens if somebody dies.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Nothing good.
But I think this is what character would do.
You're doing a good job.
I blame him for Onion Jack still, I think. And I'm pretty sure he's going to make me fight a zombie, and I'm not going to be happy about it. Try to kill him before that. Or it is Onion Jack under wraps.
So, highest in the initiative, Archibald, you jump and you swan dive into the water. It's beautiful. You are expecting to either just have, like, open water and you're swimming and you're adjusting your eyes to, like, try to, like, see details in here.
And suddenly I am not in
Oh,
the
no.
water, huh? Yeah.
Oh wait, what do you anticipate is going to happen?
I'm just like somewhere not watery.
You
Is
just
that
like hit the
what's
bottom
going on?
immediately.
It's actually gold coins, a la Scrooge
Tons
McDuck.
of- Oh wait, what happens? What happens, Graham?
I like your interpretation. So you expect that. You expect to maybe run into this dude, and you're grabbing him, and you're attacking the snake. You do hit something that is floating in the water. It is a large. It feels like a body that suddenly starts moving, larger than this dude that you were following. You reach out and you feel large scales on it, like on the back of something like a dinosaur, but like long and flat. In the very small amount of light that is illuminating this room, you see a bit of a glint off of something metal. On this like wall of scaly flesh, you see a collar and a little name tag, and you could just barely somehow make out the name.
Oh no.
Wally.
Yeah.
And as you take it all in, you realize that this is a decaying, half-skeletal, rotting alligator with like chunks of flesh missing from it and like ribs exposed. It turns to you and it only has one eye, and it looks very dead and also very animated, and at the moment quite upset to be awoken by you. So we're going to skip over to Thurgood. Give me a dexterity plus firearms roll.
Okie doke. That's pretty good.
1, 2, 3.
That there is
Yep.
pretty good.
6 out of 8.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
And let's go ahead and roll for damage. That is going to be...
Oh, wait. Sorry. I rolled 11. That's not enough. I got to roll more. So I got to add four more dice.
4 damage successes.
Okay,
plus
the other 4
nothing.
dice didn't matter. Canceled out.
Oh, yeah. There.
Let me see what gets soaked. Not good for our orc friend, who has now been killed twice by this group.
Oh.
So the shotgun blast goes like it's running up on Excavo. It's trying to grab her. It's trying to bite her. It isn't on her yet because it's restrained by the vines, but it is close enough that you get you have a good angle to shoot also through his throat that is already injured, and your shotgun blast goes cleanly through its whole neck, so that all that's left, this is like a Mortal Kombat fatality, all that's left is just the spinal column. Barely keeping the head up. It's moving its head around like a baby, like it's too, because it doesn't have muscles anymore. And
right.
It stumbles a little bit, and that exposed part of the spinal column finally just snaps, and his head falls off behind him, and he stumbles a couple more feet and falls on Excavo inconsequentially, who also shoots it for good measure.
Yeah, I think Thurgood just starts maniacally laughing, like he lost his head, just like totally not really with it.
Thurgood's just going insane. Augustine's vines finish their job and grab onto its body and start slowly dragging it toward the large grate in the middle of the floor and start pulling it bit by bit into the drain through the grates. Sure, we'll say Play-Dohing his body.
Once they've completed their task, and I have successfully harvested my papyrus, I walk up to the grates that he has just been plated through and holler, "Forfeit! Obviate!"
Huh?
And one
To make unnecessary?
It is the only listed antonyms to encore.
What?
Huh.
He's a musician. The opposite of encore.
That's... Oh, my God.
That's a different usage of that word that the thesaurus is thinking of.
It's a very Augustan thing to yell. So there have been bullets and shotgun shot pellets flying around the room. Other stuff on the other side of the room has gotten screwed up. You've winged the coffin. You see a little bit of like splinters fly up. Something on the table, like a book or something, got knocked over, and also the tarp got hit with a shotgun blast. And suddenly, something under the tarp gets disturbed. This big tarp that just had like a bloody pile.
Oh, God damn it. It's going to be the bear.
Well, come on.
I'm so sorry.
That would be why they reminded us earlier, probably, huh?
So, regardless of what you think will happen, suddenly the large tarp moves and rises up off the ground. It slides off to the side, revealing what was under it. A dead, rotting, 7-foot-long, 400-pound black bear with maggots crawling around a visibly broken jaw. It looks at the three of you and roars thunderously, spraying maggots in your direction.
Is this the ghost of all of our
Yes,
past
yeah.
kills?
This is like the last episode of Seinfeld right now.
New round of combat. So, Zombie Wally, the alligator formerly ghouled and owned by the Nosferatu of New Cammack, but just left to die unfed in the sewers, and apparently adopted and resurrected by the horseman death. Zombie Wally is trying to bite Archibald.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I thought like he was not. I didn't realize he was also zombified.
Also zombified. Looks at
no.
you, pissed off, seems to be a guard gator. Also, just beyond Zombie Wally, you make out just the faintest glimpse of Death swimming in the direction of another pipe that has water flowing into this chamber, but there are grates on that pipe, and his exit is blocked. So, Excavo, being in this room, or like just in the doorway of this room, and Zombie Mama has just risen, what do you do?
I shoot. I do.
Shoot the bear.
Yeah, shoot the bear right in the. I try to go for the pumpkin. I love shooting right in the head.
Is that the... Okay.
Boy, I sure do love killing.
All right. And
yeah.
Augustine, what do you do?
Having harvested my papyrus and shouted my witty one-liner that nobody else got at my...
It wasn't witty. The wrong definition of the word.
Having harvested my plant and shouted my one-liner, I see the bear coming back, and in a weird moment of lucid empathy, recognize that this is nothing for Paddington to witness. And the same comfort of they've got this that I had when I came out to harvest my papyrus, I am trying to remove Paddington from this scene.
Are you going to throw the bear cub again?
No, I thought about it, but no. I'm trying to make a beeline to get the fuck out of the room, and I try to go through the hallway that Archibald went through.
Oh, thank goodness.
So you want to, like, scoot around the bear to...
I mean, zombies have low initiative, so, like, yeah, why not? You guys got guns. Those will get to the bear faster than the bear will get to me.
My initiative's pretty low.
It sounds like you're taunting Zombie Mama with her own bear cub.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm also doing this while, like, mostly one-handed. I've harvested my papyrus. I still have my...
So you're, like, Zorroing the bear cub in front of the just...
No. I've got my papyrus in pocket. I've got my fully automatic rifle in one hand. And with my bear cub helmet still on, I'm trying to cover Paddington's eyes as I, like, scurry towards the exit. I'm not trying to taunt Bear Mama, but I am trying to prevent Paddington from seeing his mom in such a state.
How very considerate of you.
In such a state. The little kerchief.
She's having an episode, Paddington. Don't even worry. And just,
Okay, you are fucking running.
Yeah, I presume this room is safer because I have no idea what is unfolding in here.
Mm-hmm.
Thurgood. What happens to Thurgood when he sees one of nature's most, beautiful and spectacular creatures in this reanimated, bizarre state, and
screaming maggots?
Yes.
I mean, I think as soon as the bear comes on the scene, whatever mental distress that Thurgood was under seems to crescendo over some breaking point and just disappear. Like he's just all of a sudden very calm, and he drops his shotgun on the ground. And he reaches up and he expertly grabs two chakram off the top of his wizard hat, and he says, "Seems like we got unfinished business." And he
what?
He charges full bore directly at Mama Bear. Chakrams raised.
Oh my god.
Ready for action, and he screams his own name. Darby Manor! As he's making his way to attack and kill Mama yet again. Darby has returned triumphantly. Oh, and I had prepared for this eventuality, like a redneck phoenix from the ashes.
It's just busting out of a PBR can.
You have any background? Perfect.
And I gotta get the size down a little bit here. Here we go.
Scoot it. Oh, there you go.
If there were like a character,
like what that guy in the photo would Photoshop.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like he would have made that.
This is my new image of what Darby looks like, or at least an accurate representation of his spirit.
Yes. This was Darby's soul that you're looking at right here.
The Captain America costume.
So yeah, he burns for celerity as well. I will announce that.
He burns for celerity and the United States of America.
That's right. He
bleeds red, white, and blue.
And so yeah, he's splitting his dice between each chakra attack.
Okay, wow.
Or he's doing two chakra attacks without splitting his dice.
Yeah.
Of celerity.
Yeah, you can do that. Okay, and finally, Archibald, what are you doing about this zombie alligator trying to bite you?
I think I was real scared for a second, but then through the water, I could hear the echoing sound of Darby's name, and it's lit a flame within me. So, did I land up against its back or against its front?
Like against its side.
Against its side? Okay, I would like to grab onto the collar and try to keep myself behind this thing. I don't need to breathe, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Do you try to ride it?
So I'm going to try and basically ride it by holding onto its collar like I would like a rein or something, and stay on its back so it can't bite me.
I feel
and then my first move really is to secure myself that way, and then I have a couple plans for after that. But
I didn't know they made Free Willy 5.
like, would that be my move? Basically, just trying to get situated on this thing.
Yes, you can do
Okay.
that.
That'll be that.
Well, I suggest that we leave we're right at 2 hours. I suggest we leave the resolution for these actions until the next session, the return of Darby.
He's back, bitches.
Oh my gosh, baby. That was like my favorite moment of the campaign so far. I loved it.
So what did it? Was it the murdering and the killing that just brought him back out? Is that what it was?
I think it was the bear.
I think it was the bear.
Yeah, it was seeing his previous nemesis return.
Nemesis.
Well, he's actually like really pissed at the bear because first off, he was attacked. And just for defending himself, everyone thinks he's a huge asshole for killing this stupid bear. And it's not even dead. This is some fucking bullshit.
And Augustin's been taking care of its orphaned child right in front of you.
Yeah, so he is outraged at the sight of this bear. So Thurgood's personality ran out of gas to seize control of the body. And Darby's righteous vengeance against Mama Bear in his own mind was enough to bring him back.
All right, so this session was all combat, but I think this wasn't like a slog like tabletop combat tends to be. I think this was pretty efficient and pretty exciting. A lot of interesting stuff happened. I'm happy about this session. Who wants to spin some experience?
This guy.
I think I want to save up and level up one of my disciplines.
Once you get 10 experience points, you can get a third point in one of your disciplines. So you
I think
are...
I'll save up.
Yeah, you're a couple sessions away from being able to do that.
Yep. I think my next session, my plan is to get third level of fortitude.
Okay.
Not that I've ever really had to soak damage, but it seems like something that would be useful.
That's true. You haven't really gotten damage.
Like you don't need it until you really, really do.
Oh wait, you got like killed. So that time you got damage.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mama even damaged Darby.
Darby has not really taken any combat damage at all, despite his maximum recklessness in combat. I've been very lucky with rolls. Just not for initiative.
Augustine, you have 20 experience points. Are you going to continue saving them for thaumaturgy?
That's my general thought. I would like to discuss further the possibility of continuing my min-maxiness with just being the most planty plant boy that ever did.
The idea of a new 6th level of the green path, that is something that I'm going to say that can just manifest at any point. I'll have to do the math to figure out what how many points that would take. And my idea for what the 6th level would be, reflecting your experiences, would be that a mycological mastery where you can just make fungus grow on any surface within line of sight, and you would have automatic dance of vines powers where you can move it around. However useful like a mushroom that moves around would be. You are also welcome to come up with whatever you think makes sense as being an even more badass power than Awaken the Forest Giants, where you make trees stomp around.
The only thing that came to mind, and believe you me, I have been thinking about it the entirety of this session, is like a green path. If we're going beyond what is written for the magnitude of green path power, what if it's literally like, yeah, you have to come into contact with it, but you can turn non-plant life into plants.
Turn things into plants.
Yeah, like I'm being strangled by something, I grab it by the arm and go 6th power level and just turn it into fucking tree matter.
I feel like that encroaches on like Path of Transmutation and Path of Conjuring territory. And
Fair.
If you did have any dots in either of those paths, I think then we could start exploring like combining them into something like that. I think that if you are going to like the 6th level of Green Path, we can introduce the idea that like if you do that, maybe some of the limitations of the earlier like the lower levels of those Green Path powers, the limitations go away. Like stuff that requires physical contact no longer requires physical contact, just like line of sight. Things like that to make the existing powers work even better for you. Or we could just say that like the 6th level isn't anything specific. It's just a bunch of specific upgrades to the existing levels. Like you get like your plants are stronger if they're grappling with stuff. They are active for like double the number of turns that they normally would be. Awaken the Forest Giants isn't as much of a pain to use.
Even just breaking their combat-oriented stats away from being directly tied to mine would be, like, an enormous boon, because every time I'm, like, I'm trying to find non-combat ways to do harm to people with plants, but they invariably wind up requiring my combat stats, and I am not made for combat.
I think it might be fair to say, like, instead of their brawl being one less than your brawl, their brawl would be one less than your occult.
They're not really made for combat either. Just get a gun.
I guess suffice it to say, I would like to hold on powers for this immediate interaction. If we're planning for 2 weeks from today, I would totally be open to spitballing some ideas with you.
Absolutely.
I hope this isn't like boring as far as the party goes. I'm enjoying the dog shit out of min-maxing the ever-loving bejesus out of this character.
If that's what's fun, do it.
Why would we care?
I like all the different ways that you're able to use plants and stuff. You're doing things I wouldn't specifically like myself think of. And
really
no
cool sane person should.
Plant murder? Yeah. It's like a weird limb.
What was it? Homicide, but like plants, so like herbicide.
Yeah.
Let's say that like the next level of the Green Path is Augustine gets to weaponize people's like gut flora.
Oh my god.
Way too strong.
And all the bacteria in your
Doesn't
mouth.
work against vampires, but it would be insanely strong
like
against
tongue
people.
Germs? Not anymore.
Are there little plant things that live with us? I don't know if that's...
No, there's bacteria though.
Oh, yeah, like any plant materials that people have, like, eaten before. So you don't need line of sight, you just... Oh,
I regret eating that salad!
Carrots earlier.
Not sure if I want to go down this route. Okay, so you're sitting on this 20 points. Excava, you have 7 points.
I have 7. So how much is the 3rd point in obfuscate? Because that looks like what I'm
10.
Saving up for. 10. Okay. So it'll be a couple more sessions before I get it. But yeah, that's what I'm saving for. So no points today.
I'm just loving this battle of the beasts right now.
Yeah.
All of our ghosts of our past are coming back to literally kill us.
Well,
I'm not
Steve...
gonna lie. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, Steve probably recognizes this tactic from stuff that we've done in role-playing games before, where I think originally we started thinking of this when we were just players in a game, and there was another player that just was notorious for, like, none of his characters would live for more than a session or two because they were all really annoying and antagonistic, and everyone would just kill his character all the time.
An antagonistic min-maxer. Somebody who would min-max, like Andy's talking about, and would just... but make it as annoying as possible for every other player. Like, aggrandizing for himself, but ruining the game for as many people as he could.
Well, what we started to do was, when our characters were in the position where we were, like, kind of in charge of the in-world venue, like the setting of the game, when he would get like captured and it was assumed that he was being executed by us and he would make a new character, we would secretly just chain his character up in a room with all of his other characters that we had captured and supposedly executed. So we were gradually building up an army of his own former characters. To the idea is eventually we would unleash them all to kill him, and he would have to
one
fight.
Of his own characters that actually managed to succeed for a while. Once he got confident, then we would unleash this army of his own mistakes against him for some ultimate poetic justice. But we never got a chance to do it.
Yeah, the game was ended by the people running it before that happened. And we had the same idea when we ran the LARP version of New Cammack, like I think at this point 16 years ago. We were like, we didn't really plan out a lot of how the like death chapter of the game was going to work. That hadn't really gotten sketched out very much. But one of the ideas that was thrown around was like everyone who's killed by the player characters, we should keep a list. And as many as is practical should be collected by Death's minions, which is what the Medic brothers were doing. They were going around and just collecting dead bodies that hadn't been picked up yet. And they should all become the army of the dead that the player characters have to get through to get to death. They have to revisit the people that they had already killed, but now they're zombies. So that was the idea that it never happened. We never got to that in the LARP, but here it is. An idea from 16 years ago is
many moons ago.
Yes.
Wait, so the Medic brothers never had anything to do with the fungus?
Correct.
No, they just showed up when we made
solely
corpses.
Working for death. Oh, so the Camp Moonlight thing threw me off because we found the guy all covered in mushrooms, but they were showing fungus. Up not for that. Okay.
Correct. They showed up to steal the torpid body of Jeremiah Cotton, the camp's founder, which they were able to locate due to their the jar with the hand floating in it.
And it points, yeah.
That they
Jeremiah was a Brujah.
That makes me wonder, like, what breadcrumbs are around for war.
Honestly,
which we will see.
I've suddenly, like, I went from not giving a hoot about much with the party to being abundantly self-aware that I have this vulnerable bear cub that ages at the same rate as normal mortality, so it's still a fucking bear cub. And we're all in these murderous situations where I'm like, shit, I should hit the deck and, like, protect the bear cub. It has no practical application to the campaign, but I am legitimately, like, trying not to get my bear cub murdered.
No, you became a dad and you found meaning in your life.
It's beautiful.
Your character found meaning in that way.
It's the only way any of us can find meaning.
We should figure out exactly what derangement Augustine's going to get when that bear cub inevitably dies.
Mm-hmm. Is Darby going to kill it right now as part of his anti-bear bloodlust? Who knows?
I'm surprised it didn't, like, turn on Augustine and be like, no, I want to go back to my mom and, like, start attacking him.
I feel like the whole scent and familiarity thing is just out the window at this point. Like, I
don't think it smells like his mom anymore. It smells like
dead.
Darby should be like, that cub is going to grow up into another one of those bears. It'll be easier if I just kill it right now.
Wow.
I don't want to have to fight both of our actual physical brawlers in party.
Yeah. Pussy-ass Thurgood won't be there to slow down the proceedings this time as well.
Do I have any tea leaves in my pockets? And I'm just, like, trying to stuff tea leaves in your face.
Full send, Darby.
Full send.
Okay. Well, any other notes about this session, how we think it went?
Oh, it was great. I agree with you. I thought the combat went pretty smoothly, given how clunky the system is.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Death. I like his character design. I think seems like a cool dude.
Is Death Hitler? He sounds an awful lot like Hitler.
He has a mask on. You haven't seen his face. You don't know. Might be Hitler.
I'm real worried, folks. I'm real worried about what's under that mask.
All right.
All right,
well,
y'all. See you next time.
And scene.
Love you guys. Good game.
Love you too. Have a great one.